What's up, everybody? This video I'm going to basically give you a review and my thoughts on the Aquaforest components, the calcium, alkalinity, magnesium, and also a short little review on the fish trap I used to catch a dotty back. So from the last video, a couple things have changed. My dwarf angel has disappeared, and I suspect he's a goner. It's been about a week since I've seen him, and since he's even came out, even while I'm feeding, he just completely disappeared. And I believe the dotty back towards the end there was picking on him a good bit and just stressed him out enough to where he just stopped eating, and just finally I think he's a goner. So sadly, but in that case, I decided I just want to keep a somewhat balance of that bio load. So I ended up getting these, I think you call them Talbot damsels. Try to show you these guys here. They're more, I think, a less aggressive damsel. So they're more like chromuses, but I kind of like these guys better. The colors on them are really great. They're really smooth looking, and they like to play a lot. So that's pretty good, seeing that my sad old dwarf angel's gone, which that guy had the most personality probably in this tank. And I also got a chalk basslet, and he is hiding. He's hiding, comes out once in a while, eats well. Everybody is doing very good. The clowns are really doing well. So far right now, all my fish are really happy, as far as I can tell. Another thing, so if you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you know I'm kind of like off the wall, and I've been chasing lots of issues on this tank. And I believe just in my nature of liking to tinker so much that I've been changing things, and a couple of you guys pointed that out in the comments that I should just stop doing that. But you know, at least it points out for good entertainment, and it's almost like my channel is probably going on a what not to do kind of channel. So sometimes you probably just don't want to be like me, because right now, you know, pushing close to the year mark, I suspect that a lot of the different changes that I've made to this tank, and some things were just some things I wanted to change, and some things were just me chasing around nuisance problems going on in the tank. I believe in doing a lot of that stuff and changing things. I have stunted the growth of a lot of coral, because I've noticed, you know, even when the water quality is really fine for a long while, the growth seems to be stunted and stopped on a lot of the coral. And it seems to take about a couple months to get them going again, is what I've noticed. And so far, everything's going again so good. But as far as that fish trap, that was one of the best investments that I have made, along with a lot of other things. I didn't realize how useful that was until I used it, because like I said in the last video, I thought I was going to have to pull out all the coral and all the rock work to get that dotty back out of here. And I'll show you a little short clip of what that looks like, and when he was in there. Sorry, couldn't catch it when he went in there. But basically, I took the food in the top part, and put the food in there, jiggled it around to get the food in there, swished it around so the food come out a little bit, and honestly, all of about 30 seconds, he went in there. You know, one of my clowns actually went in there first, so it almost seemed like I could pick any number of the fish to just go ahead and get him in there and get him out. But he went in there, and that was it. Pulled a little string, the door shut, closed, and it slipped my mind what the brand is on the fish trap, so I'll put that in the description of the exact one that this is. And yeah, but it's very useful. After seeing that, I was kind of mad at myself that I've gone all these years without ever using one. It would have saved me so much trouble in so many different times that I had to pull out rock work to get some of these fish, because they're just hard to catch with or without a net. Yeah, so now when I do get these fish, I'm really not worried about what's going to happen as much, you know, if they're going to be super aggressive or not. because I know I can pretty much pull them out. And the thing was with that fish trap, also a side note is you kind of don't want to feed them. They'll be okay. You kind of want to starve them a little bit for a day or two, so then when you go back and you put that food, they really want it, so they'll be a little bit more bold and go inside of that fish trap, and you're done, call it a day. Moving on to the Aquaforest part of the video, you can see here I have these are the pre-made solutions, and they also sell them in like the powder form, so you can do it yourself, and it's considerably cheaper than buying them already made. The thing is here, I have not opened up the magnesium the part 3 of this system here. The salt mix, I also use Aquaforest salt mix, and that salt mix has very high magnesium, so I constantly sit at about 1480 to 1500 magnesium, so I haven't had a need to even touch this magnesium part, so that would be a really poor choice to go and buy the whole pre-made solution again, seeing you get all 3 bottles in a case and you cannot buy them individually. So next time I will be buying the pre-made, not the pre-made, the do-it-yourself powder form. And yeah, these 3-part here, which I'm actually using it as a 2-part right now, is definitely not as potent as most brands of 2-part solutions. It's very, I don't know, you'd say watered down, where I was using 12 milliliters per day of any other solution. This one I'm using close to somewhere between 20 to 30 milliliters every day of each. So 20 to 30 of the calcium and 20 to 30 milliliters of the alkalinity. It's a lot, but it's doing really well, to let you know. I'm not going to switch from this one, seeing that I'm getting growth in corals that I've really never had good luck in growing. So let me move over to the tank and adjust the camera again. So just about every coral in here is doing better than it was before I started the Aquaforest. Not having any issues with anything really. Torch corals are extremely happy. I mean, everything, soft corals to the SPS, are doing well right now. So I'm very pleased with this stuff, and it's been about a month and a half of using it. And as you can see here, I mean, these torch corals are back and they're doing great. And my GSP is even doing good. All the polyps on everything is extending really well. The GSP is looking nice and soft and fluffy, and that's all I can say, is it kind of makes everything fluffy. Coloration is great. I always was making concoctions of trace elements and different things, and iron and this and that, and adding in the water, thinking I'm gonna juice these guys up or something, but really it wasn't working as well. The coloration of everything was awesome, but not getting good growth, and that's probably, again, me tinkering too much. But as far as right now, the coloration and everything has even improved beyond what I thought was already awesome and great. As you can see, the bird's nest back here, it's got some issues that I'll explain later, but the coloration is back, and it's coming back really well. The green is back on it, and it just keeps getting better week by week. What I'm really pleased with is my zoanthids, which I really never was able to grow zoanthids that well. They're growing excellent right now, and you can see here they're overreaching and off of the plug now. And I mean, you can just see those little tentacles on this guy are just swaying in the water. It's super happy right now. And this one too is expanding, and now it's reaching all over the rock. And most of that has happened in the past month. And the coloration on my corals, doing excellent. Everything is growing more than it's ever grown since I've stunted growth. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that in this video, but just in general, to cut it down shorter, I mean, you can see it for yourself. Most everything is doing well. Most things are growing. I don't know why, but my corals are growing on the plug, kind of plating more than growing tall. But the growth is there, and I can see it. The sunset coral's doing really good now, and it's expanding. These Maniporas here haven't been doing good, and I've always had good luck with these where I was growing them always well. In any tank, they're probably one of the easiest ones to grow. But as the size goes, these guys, from my experience, should be 2 times as big, if not bigger, by now. They were one of the first corals in this tank, and just recently, it's hard to tell in this video, but it's starting to get the white edges again, which is a sign of growth, and that's recently just happened in the past couple of weeks, where it's finally, they've gotten back to themselves again, and everything, even the rock flower anemones seem to have opened up a bit more. This Stylopora is doing great. It's starting to branch on these smaller branches that have been growing from the base. All the new coral that I have gotten has definitely colored up more, and I've noticed a little bit of growth on them, very slightly. And the one thing is, this coral right here was up there near that digi, and it somehow, I don't know what's going on up there, snails and stuff are pushing them around, and it ended up laying on that digi, and that digi's got a nasty sting or something, because it just burned that coral, and that was a couple weeks ago. I've been waiting for it to come back. But yeah, everything else is doing well. This Aquaforest is everything that I heard it was, as far as I can tell right now, and I see no reason to switch, and I'm absolutely not going to. And the other thing that I'll say, probably for about the 3rd time, is that I never noticed anybody ever mentioning on any video or any forums, that I didn't find at least, was do not mix your 2-part solutions with any other brand 2-part solutions. Like I had let me turn this pump off here so I can show you from the top view what happened. I mixed B-ionic calcium. I had a very little bit in my little dosing bottles. It's a little dark there, but and I ended up just saying, you know, okay, I'm gonna top them off, but I got C-Chem Fusion 2-part in the calcium. I mixed that calcium with the B-ionic, and I didn't notice it, but maybe 3 weeks later I started to notice there was a smell, and I just randomly found that it smelled like plastic, burning plastic, I guess you'd say. I don't know how to explain it, but it had an odor. We'll say that, and it should not have an odor. So I basically contaminated that, and when I did that, these birds' nests suffered pretty badly, and now I have STN on this one, and today I just got the bone cutter, so I am going to be fragging this because the STN is not receding, and it is slow, so it's been happening over the course of the few months. And even with the Aquaforest, and even with it coloring up and even looking way healthier than it is on the good parts, it's still getting, STN is still spreading. Yeah, so do not mix any 2 parts together with any different brands. I'm sure you're fine as long as it's the same exact brand. But yeah, top view here, you can see it's starting to look like a jungle in there. Yeah, so, you know, and one thing, I always thought when guys don't put videos up of their tanks for a long while, something bad probably happened or something. I always think the worst, I don't know. But going forward, I can see now that, you know, I'm not going to be tinkering as much, not a lot of news is going to happen, and my videos are going to slow down. I am one person, if you haven't noticed, when something bad does happen, I like to pop open my camera and video it for everybody. But as far as now goes, I probably won't make a lot of videos because right now it's just going to be on autopilot. I'm not going to tinker. I only am using the 2-part and trying to go on the monthly water changes, and that's about it. So that's about all that's going to be happening from here forward. So I might be having a little bit less videos, but I will be back. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know. That's it for this one. Thanks, everybody.